What's up? Welcome to Black Queens Uncut. Grab your wine, your vape, or whatever you need to relax so we can get into this queen chat. I'm Monique Loveless. Queens, introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Kiki Boom Boom.
Hey pasa, it's TK Trinidad.
And I'm excited because this is our Halloween episode and we brought on a spirit therapist / medium. If any of the how do I say it? If any of the RIP or dead come through, we have Jakayla to let us know what's popping, what's happening. She's also going to let us know what a medium does or what a spirit therapist does. And I thought this was really cool for a good Halloween episode so we can get across the board. As last year, we brought on an astrologer. Can y'all believe that was last year?
Time went by way too fast.
Yes, I can't believe it was last year. It definitely went by super fast. This time last year, that's crazy. Wow. It doesn't even feel like it. But do y'all celebrate Halloween?
Yes. For those who are visually listening, if you can't see, those who are listening who can't see this, I have a Goosebumps shirt on. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I'm a Thanksgiving baby, but I absolutely loved it since I was a kid. It's truly, but I'm a weird oxymoron because I love Halloween. I love murder documentaries, murder shows, but I will not watch scary movies. So it's weird, but I definitely celebrate. I used to go trick-or-treating. I still dress up. Greatest holiday.
I'm kind of like in between. Like I did like the dressing up when I was a kid and then I kind of stopped. But I picked it back up when I moved to LA because the partying and the dress up is like, it was more like epic. And then I can recycle my carnival costumes. So like if you know carnival costumes, they cost anywhere from $500 to $1,500 and they have the wings. There's only like so many times you can recycle it and wear it again. So I just use it as an excuse to walk down Hollywood in a swimsuit with feathers. So that's why I love Halloween. I too don't watch Halloween movies. I have no idea what Jason's about or Chucky or any of that. Never watched it, never will. And so it's more for the dress up for me, I guess the cosplay. But other than that, it's whatever to me.
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind Halloween, but I hardly ever dress up unless it's like I had a party at the last minute. I'll go grab the 50% off packet of an outfit and throw it on. Like I'm that person. If it wasn't scheduled, I probably am not going anywhere. Not on technically Halloween, but I've always watched scary movies. Like I love Carrie, I love Chucky, I love all of that. I've always loved horror films, but I don't know. I'm not a big like, oh my gosh, it's Halloween. I'm more of a Christmas person because I like gifts, but I don't know. I haven't been like a huge ever Halloween person where I celebrate unless it's like a last minute party. That's it. Jakayla, what about you?
So I have kids, so we do the whole dressing up and trunk or treats and stuff like that. But me personally, I don't like Halloween. I like the scary movies, but I don't like just the people in costumes. That's like one of my fears that I'm trying to get over. I don't like people in costumes or none of the decorations. No.
Oh my gosh. I see people do extravagant costumes that I love. I'm like, the people who go all out and plan and do the costumes, I'm like, oh, I love those. But I personally don't do it. I'm a bad girl.
Said that's a fear she's trying to get over because a fear of mine is like, though I love Halloween, and don't get me wrong, like I've watched scary movies, I just don't indulge in them because I'm such a scary person. If I'm by myself, I'm like, who's there? What spirit's here? So that's why I don't really do it. But because like I love Halloween, I will indulge on Halloween. But scary movies, like, child, I'm in my 30s and I still won't watch Chucky.
So you watch Halloween movies on Halloween, but not anytime
because of the spirit. But it's like daytime, like the spirit of Halloween, but it's broad daylight, and someone's sitting next to me, not by myself with the lights off, and I'm like, this is a great Halloween countdown. Absolutely not.
Oh my god!
But it's like, I'm corny, so I watch like Hocus Pocus, like Halloween themed movies, but not so much like slasher movies.
Oh, really?
But I've seen them
love
all.
slasher movies.
I've seen them all. Like I've seen Freddy, I've seen the Jasons, I've seen the
I have no idea what any of those look like. I have absolutely no idea.
I'm still afraid of
Really? They're just movies though.
I still can't watch Thriller. My mom showed me that. Like, I love Michael Jackson. Still can't watch it.
I'm not gonna lie, the makeup person did an amazing job because it is creepy. And
it is dope. That video is so dope.
Video of all time.
I was always, yeah, it is, but it's a dope video.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are y'all going to celebrate Halloween this year? Are y'all celebrating it? How y'all? Like I said, to me,
I
it's
celebrate. I think I'm the only person here. I know Jakayla has the kids, so she does with the kids, but I'm the only geek that's like, yes, girl, I saw Halloween Countdown in July. That's how crazy I am. And my friends make fun of me. They're like, girl, we know you like fall. I'm like,
do you decorate, Kiki?
I do. I'm crazy. I don't want kids, but if I ever had kids, I would be that mom that's like, let's go to Universal Scary Nights. I'm the mom that would have like, my desk at my office, I used to have Halloween everything. So I'm that person. This year, I do have 2 Halloween costumes in mind. So that's how I'll be celebrating.
Are you going to reveal them or they have to be revealed?
No, I'm going to reveal them when we come back for the new year and then for social media.
Okay.
But they're 2 pretty iconic movies.
Okay.
A female character and a male character, and I've been wanting to do both of these for a very long time.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? I can reveal it because this will be out on Halloween, so nobody will be able to. So one costume I want to do, which I'm still kind of going back and forth because, you know, I don't have the stomach for it, or the flat stomach. I wanted to dress up as Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman, her Pretty Woman.
That would be dope. Are you going to do the stripper outfit?
I'm going to do the blue skirt with the blonde wig. And my stomach's a little big, but we're going to make it work. And then if I get to go to a really big party, I've always wanted to dress up as Jim Carrey from The Mask when he has the yellow suit with the green face. So that is, I normally like to be sexy, but I want to do like a dope, cool costume like that. So The Mask, Gigi Hadid did it 2 years ago. Her face was beat and it was beautiful. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be The Mask.
Nice.
Where are you going?
I don't know. That's all I'm like, where, like, I don't know where I'm going to go. So if I go to a big party out, it's going to be The Mask costume. If I go to someone's like Halloween party at a house, it's going to be Pretty Woman.
Okay. Got it.
Someone invite me so I can wear my mask costume.
Got it.
Yeah. I used to like plan too when I was at the radio station. I used to plan in July because like when I was at the radio station, it was a big thing. Like everybody had costumes and then there was a big party. So for me, if I do go to Carnival in Miami, then I'll probably just recycle that kind of like I take the Carnival outfits and I kind of retool it. But yeah, that's my extent. Since I haven't been working at the radio station, I don't plan as ahead, but I do like a good costume party. If it's a house party, I just show up as myself.
Yeah, I feel like a house party, I'm just kind of like, just throw on anything. I might slap on a wig I already have and a mixed outfit and just make up something. If I have a planned party I'm going to, I just go buy a pack. Like the packs.
Throw those suckers.
I am not the person to like plan out. And my best friend, he plans out his whole entire Halloween costume and he's ready for it. He probably have a change in the midst of the costume. Like, dang. That's just, you know, it's funny. And I'm like, I just buy a pack. I'm like, you just give me a pack, make it easy. Let me throw on something. Y'all know what it is. You ain't asking me no questions and make it look hoochie mama so that I can be a thought. That's about it. So I don't know what I'm going to do on Halloween. No plans so far. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing on actual Halloween. But usually I always get invited to a party last minute or like a little, you know, outing last minute. So we'll see what happens.
Well, something that you could be doing if you don't go out last minute or, you know, you don't end up going out is using your Lawan products. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Lawan is a woman-founded premium brand of personal vibrating massages that bring unparalleled quality to a notorious sketchy industry. Lawan originated as one hell of a classic wand and has now become a full line of best-in-class heart-pounding, hair-raising toys. Trust me, y'all. You can probably even bring it to the party with you, you and your boo thing, or you and new things, whatever. So definitely, yeah, whatever you want to do, you can mix it up. It's Halloween. So definitely check out those products. Those products are absolutely amazing. You can go to lawanmassager.com, get 20% off of your first order. So when I say, the queens have been using it, they've been using it for travel, they've been using it for play, they've been pleasure, been using it by themselves, with people, without people. You can use it for everything. So definitely check out Lawand.
Exactly. www.lawanmassager.com. You get 20% off your first order. So make sure y'all go get it. Go get it now. Get your luxurious toy. Do all types of stuff with it. Okay.
Or been dressed up as a
Lawan? As a
I've seen a lot
toy?
of funny costumes. I've seen
something
them.
different.
A dildo?
I've seen condoms.
Yo, they want to dress up as one but not use one? Okay, that's a different subject. Anyways, okay, Jakayla, tell us what a medium or spirit therapist does.
So I call myself a spirit therapist because I combine like a bunch of different healing modalities to create one unique experience. A medium is just someone that is like a portal between the living and the dead. They help conduct seances. They help give the spirits peace. If they have unfinished business on this side, they help with that. They help facilitate them to transition. Here lately, the ones I've been doing mostly is like when people who didn't have good relationships with them, when they were living, they want to rectify their wrongs now. And sometimes, they don't want to come through and they resistant and they send kind of hurtful and mean words through. So I don't even relay those messages. I just cut it off because it's not worth it to hurt the person anymore. I just tell them to write a letter and burn it. Just give it to the universe or whoever you subscribe your beliefs to. But other than that, I wanted to stand out because everybody calls me, I call myself the nappy oracle because I want to take back the word nappy. And I feel like more so for me, I'm not an expert in the field of spirituality and mediumship. I'm just a conduit for energy. So I just put myself there because it's so many people in this field and it's so easy for people to get tricked and scammed. I just try to set myself apart as much as I can.
Right. And do y'all, okay, queens, do y'all believe in stuff like this?
Absolutely. I believe. I was gonna ask Jakayla because you said that sometimes people come through and they say like hurtful and bad words, and I'm always like, I always want to know what that's like being a medium and being someone like a spiritual therapist where you kind of are the energy where you can kind of bring those relationships to the forefront, but kind of hearing like the other side's thoughts. Like I've always wondered like, how does that first happen? Like when did you first tap into that? Is that something that happened when you were younger? Because I believe in it all. I definitely believe that there's spirits like, hey, what's up? Tell that person I say they owe me some money.
So like I was raised in the church on both sides. My grandma is a minister on my dad's side. And she was very much into don't talk about it, none of that. But I was sitting in church, I believe I was 7, and I felt somebody tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, nobody was behind me, so I ignored it. And then I seen a man in all white come to me. Now, my grandma lives in the deep country, so I was like, But as I got older, I was like, maybe it's somebody that lived there years ago where her house was. And he didn't bother me or anything. He just left me alone. But as I got older, they kept coming to me. And it was just one that stuck with me. And now I guess I consider her a spirit guide because I guess she was one of my grandma's friends and she passed on early. But I've never met her. My grandma's never mentioned her. But she like gave me the feeling of comfort and peace. So I just like, okay, you can stay if you don't bother me anymore.
If you don't bother, you said if she doesn't bother you anymore?
Yeah, because like I've been doing this for years now, and my husband laughs because I'll be walking down the hall and I'll see some out the corner of my eye and I'll say, "Not today, it ain't the time," or I'll be just getting up and I was like, "It's too early. What do you want?"
I was gonna say, I'm like, do you get bothered randomly? Because I see shows about mediums and they'll be like outside and then they'll be like, oh, okay, someone's here. So does that like happen to you when you're like, listen, please, it's too early?
Yes. And then like what you said with the hurtful words, I'm very goofy. So it's very hard for me to get into like when I hear somebody say, "Tell her I said such and such," and then it's like this horrible message and I'm just sitting there like, I'm not saying that. If you don't relay their messages, they will get more aggressive. So sometimes I'll just say, "She doesn't want to talk. It's not nice. It's going to hurt your feelings," or something like that, kind of smooth it over. Or I'll write it down so I can clear it for them. Because sometimes they'll push and push, and other times they'll just be like, "Okay." I had a dad come through with a son, and I'm guessing their relationship wasn't good. And he called him a SOB, a POS, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to write that down. And like the dad stuck with me for the entire night because he was upset that I didn't say what he wanted to say. And I was just like, "Sir, I'm not doing that." But I do tell them.
Can you see them or you just feel them?
So this is going to be weird to explain, but I used to see them, but it scared me so bad that I was just like, what you doing? And then sometimes if they really want to get my attention, they'll come through full flesh and be like, "Hey girl," and I'm just sitting there like, "Not today." Like this morning, I had my youngest on my hip, and I seen a lady walk through, and I said, "Whatever you want, I ain't got it. Have a good day." Because I don't have the energy, and that takes a lot. Because my husband didn't believe into it, but I pulled some stuff from his childhood, and it took me forever to like clear that because I was just getting bombarded with messages. So I have to learn how to close the door and don't leave it open because they'll just keep coming through.
I was about to say, do you just I feel like they're randomly like, "Hey, girl, you can hear us? What's up?" So I like that must be a headache sometimes to randomly hear like people like talking.
Well, my I laugh because I keep my headphones in because I've gotten to the habit of just responding out loud. So if I'm in the store or something and something comes through, people will think I'm on the phone.
Oh, that's
but sometimes I've gotten to the point to where I trained myself like so hard, and I teach a class on this where I teach myself like, or teach others how to put their protective bubble up. Nothing can come through unless you want it to. And for me, I like to sleep. So I don't need you bothering my nap time or nothing. And plus, I have another business outside of this one. So I'm very busy sometimes. And some of them are rude and will try to come through just to get you to help them. And I'll send them on. I have other friends and I'll be like, "Here you go. This person is bothering me, X, Y, and Z." And I'll give them a description and they'll take it because they like that. And I'm just like, I don't have time for it. You're just not going to bombard me when you feel like it because you'll get cussed out.
I love that. I love like meeting a black medium, a black woman, because on like TikToks and social media, you mostly see like white people in these spaces. So I love like meeting someone who is black, who's like, "Look, I like to sleep."
Right. Or you'll get cussed out. Listen, I don't care where you are, you gonna get cussed out.
It's just like I wanted to do TikTok, but then like I got on TikTok and I was like, this is not for me. So I just stick with Instagram, and I just got into doing my Facebook page because my grandma is my friend, so I didn't need her sending me holy oil in the mail. So I just try to keep them as intuitive, nice, friendly messages so she won't bother me. And she'll ask me, "Oh, where did you get that?" And I said, "Oh, I just thought of that."
I love that.
I wrote it down.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So, okay. TK, you're kind of quiet. Do you believe in this, or are you feeling, because I feel like
I was telling Kiki this before. It's kind of like everything that was said, like I grew up around. However, if you were to say medium or tarot card reading or stuff like that, my family's like, "No, we don't do that." However, in the West Indian community, there's a combination of Catholicism and African traditions mixed in, which for instance, I have seen my grandfather. He's been like, he was dead before I was even born. There was a gentleman that I saw my whole entire childhood, that I saw that was not like, I've seen my ex before and he passed away. So like that stuff is, and I've told my mom and stuff like that. So that stuff is like common. However, it's just kind of like, if you say it in a certain way, it's like, now we don't deal with that. It's kind of like an oxymoron. So it's very, I think I'm still trying to figure it out, meaning that it's like, nah, but it's the same thing. But it's such ingrained in my head that's like, yeah, we don't go to people to read, what's happening in the future, like, but it's just, so I'm trying to figure it out. There's just a lot of stuff that, is just very jumbled up that I don't even think the West Indian community even realizes that, like, nah, that's not, but the Christian in the islands is not the Christian in Kenya, is not the Christian in Texas.
Right.
Like, there's different versions. So I think it's just, yeah, I'm quiet because I'm trying to, it's like, no, everything that you're saying is just like, oh, no, that's very normal. Like,
similar.
Yeah.
So Jakayla, can anybody do this? Can anybody channel, or if they want to channel somebody specifically, are they able to do it?
I'm going to say yes and no, because everybody has the ability. Everybody is intuitive. Everybody has the clairs and they're able to strengthen them. But just channeling anybody, like, I feel like that's going to open the door for a negative spirit to come through. If you're not doing the proper protection and you're just pulling energy because you're so desperate to talk to this person, your desperate energy is going to come off negative and it's going to manifest in a negative way. And so it's going to be very upsetting. So I feel like you should at least have not like training, but you have a understanding of what you're getting into. Because if you just go into it blind, that leads for attachments and negative energy and entities and all of that.
Yeah. I've heard of this, can you have somebody attached to you that is negative or positive and they're just attached to you?
Yes, I've had someone attached to me a couple of years ago. She would not leave me alone, and I didn't know. I was doing so many readings then. I was doing so many readings back to back, and I wasn't properly cleansing in between. So she stayed with me for, I think, 6 months. And she finally left, like, when I just did like a whole cleanse and I just sat down and I was like, you gotta go. And I finally like meditated and channeled her, and she just wanted somebody to comfort her and to be with. I got the feeling that she was just lonely her entire life. So she was like, I'm going to latch on to whoever I can find. And it happened to be me. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. How do you know when somebody has moved on?
They won't come through. They'll send a message, but they will not come through. They'll say, I'll say they have no more business on this side. So they're done. You can make them an altar. You can pray to them, but they will not come back. They'll send you messages, but they will not come back over here because their business is done.
That's super good to know. Kiki, was you about to ask something?
No, I'm just taking it all in because it's so cool, because I love hearing the stories of people who can speak to the people on the other side. I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. Like, because I watch the shows, like the medium shows, and I'll see like one of the mediums, and she was like in a farmer's market with her husband. Her husband was like, please don't start this shit today, because I think she does a lot. She starts reading people, and he's like, please don't. And she's like, I can't help it. And then I guess someone had a message, and she went over to, so I think it's just so cool and interesting. So I'm taking everything Jakayla is saying in.
So what did your husband think? Like, did you tell him this on like your first date, or like, how did you reveal this to him? And he was like, you know what? I accept all of you. I'm still going to marry you. And then, like, how is it?
No, like when we've been together, I'm 25. We've been together since we were 15 and got married when we were 19. And so even then, I still hadn't fully accepted my gifts. And when I did, he calls everything voodoo, just like my grandma. Everything is voodoo. Everything is bad. But now it's like he accepts what it is and he leaves me alone. And he's like, he says, I like the work you do, but don't do nothing to me. And I'm like, I don't do that. I have no reason to. Because where we, like, my mama used to tell me all the time about protecting your pads on your period and your tampons. And my grandma used to say, put the blood, to keep them in, put your blood in the spaghetti and stuff like that. So I was like, I grew up hearing that, but I'm not going to do that. That's too much. That's domination. I would never. If I had to do all that, I don't
put the blood in spaghetti in order to get your man.
Mm-hmm. To dominate them, they will never leave you. They will be bound to you.
I've heard that. I've heard like to get rid of them, you could either. My grandmother, when she was younger, she's like, I don't know if it worked, but she said there was a guy she dated, and someone who was in the voodoo told her like to put something in the freezer for him to go away, and she's like, he just went away. She's like, so I guess it worked. I'm like,
I heard where like if you start while you're having sex, that like attaches them somehow. And yes. I have heard that, but I didn't know you got to put, or they say to, I think that is extreme. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I think that would be kind of gross to me. Like, ooh, he's eating mine. Like, yeah, but, wow, I didn't know that. That's cool to know. So that's supposed to be what they call quote unquote voodoo.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So is there like a connection to like African traditions, or like that's I guess like what I'm trying to like figure out. Well, yeah, voodoo, or I mean, there's so many names
hoodoo,
for it.
A lot of Africans do hoodoo.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, is there a connection to that, or is this like more spiritual, or I don't know. It's like a lot of things that you're saying, like I said before, is like stuff that I've heard before. And then I have like my mom's friend, when she found out that I moved into like a house, she's like, okay, well, do this and this and that, and then burn the sage and do this. And it's just like, okay, I did it, but it's just kind of like, there's just so much things. So I'm just kind of wondering, is there like an African tradition or something connected to like what you do, or?
For me, I'm not connected to like an African tradition, but the lady I was trained under, she mentored me. She is a voodoo practitioner, and she teaches it, but she says you have to be initiated. And most of the time, what you see on social media, sometimes these people are not initiated, and they're just practicing on their own accord, which you can do. But it's like, it's really like foggy for me, because I didn't want to get into it because I didn't understand it. So mostly what I do is spiritual. I tried to tap into hoodoo, and it didn't work for me because I do like ancestor veneration and all of that. But other than that, I just do the spiritual work because it comes, or intuitive work and mediumship it comes naturally to me, and it's very easy, and it's not something I have to work hard for. So I just do it. And so I feel like that's why a lot of people will say that anybody can do it. And I say they can. You just have to put your mind to it and put that energy behind it.
So I wonder if you can answer this question. Where do spirits go once they've crossed the other side? I really had this conversation with my mom, and I would love to know that.
So for me, what I know is like, it's not, I don't want to sound like this, but it's not really a heaven or hell. It's like, I've meditated and it scared me, so I've never went back. But it's just like the other side. That's the only thing I picked up. And it's just like, it's not void. I mean, it's not heaven or hell. It's just nothing. You're just there. Your soul is resting. But there are many different dimensions that your soul can go to. But it's like, it's just an area of nothing. You feel no pain, no suffering. So it's somewhat remnant of heaven, but it's not really heaven, quote unquote, as Christians say it. Your soul is just at peace. And sometimes if it's at discomfort, or you feel like you're not or your soul feels like, or the soul feels like it's not getting the answers, it will not stay on that side. It will bounce back and forth. Mm-hmm. And there are different realms you can tap into. But for me, other people may say different, but for me, it was just, I felt peace, just peace all over. Like I didn't have to worry or stress, and it was just relaxing. And so I felt like that's where souls go.
What about like Hitler and stuff? Souls like souls so that are on Earth crazy.
It's an abyss. That's just like, that's basically hell. There's nothing. It's the same nothing, but you're constantly reminded of what you did on this side, but it's amplified tenfold. You're constantly being reminded and bombarded. There's no time to think between it. You're just hitting you back, like, remember you did this? Remember you killed this baby? You remember you did this to this woman? It's like, and it drives you insane, but you can't do anything because that's your soul's consequence. You have to sit there and relish in all of it. And it flashes, from what I've seen, it flashes in front of their eyes like a movie over and over again. It drives you insane. And what it's trying to force them to do is, I guess, understand what they did. But some people will never understand. So they're stuck in that same cycle. And people are like that on this side that are still living. They're stuck in the same cycles. And it's basically like madness, but controlled madness, because you can't do anything about it. You did this, now this is your consequence.
Yeah, that's true.
Question for you. Do you believe in reincarnation and souls coming back?
I do. I feel my daughter, she's nonverbal, but when I started with crystals, she came up to me and she started, I wish I had the picture, but she put them in an arrangement. And I asked her, I said, Bear, what are you doing? And she just pointed. So now she does them with me. We meditate together, and I just feel like she's been here before, but this time it's different for her because she really can't articulate, because she watches everything now. And I feel like in her past life, maybe she wasn't too careful and she said something at the wrong time. So now this time around, she's nonverbal, so she has to watch and pay attention to her surroundings.
That's beautiful, because I believe in that, and I went to got a reading about my past lives, because there were so many things, because I would have weird past life dreams. There were things like, I joke because I'm like, oh, I love like murder mysteries and murder documentaries and the mob. And I remember without saying anything, I had a past life reading, and she was like, you know, in your past life, you were a lot of men and you weren't like the nicest man. You did a lot of bad things. So in this life, you're here to do good things in life. And that freaked me out because I didn't tell her anything. And she's like, are you into the mob? Are you into any of this stuff? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, well, in one of your past lives, I could see that you were not a great person. So when you were born and your soul came back, you came out as a different person because you wanted to achieve different goals. And that freaked me out. I was like, no wonder my dreams have been kind of violent and a little cray-cray. But I definitely believe in reincarnation, and I love the shows where the kids, you know, they talk to their parents about who they were before. Like, I love stuff like that because I think it's so interesting.
Yeah. What about dreams too? Is like, do you do like dream readings, or do you read into dreams or people's dreams?
I do, because messages, if you have like a really vivid dream and it sticks with you, that's a message. I had to do myself the other day because I had a dream that was really weird, and it was with a person I could not stand. And this person was accused of some very, very, well, I can say it. He was accused of sexual assault, and it had spanned across from the time we were in high school to now. Yeah. And he came in my dream. And what the message I got was, he was not at peace. He knew what he had did, but he refused to like say, I did this. So in the dream, he was doing the same thing, and I saw it, but it was like I was watching it kind of like in third person. So I was just looking at him, what he was doing, and then I pulled him to the side. And I guess that's what he's looking for, is somebody to correct him, because everybody around him tells him, yes, oh, you didn't do anything wrong. But I'm not going to reach out to him.
Wow.
Right. So if I tell you a dream, would you be able to interpret it?
Yes.
Okay, this dream is wild, y'all. This dream is wild.
Wild
So 2 weeks ago, I was taking a little afternoon siesta, and
can you wait a minute? Can you wait? I gotta, because I hear, but I also write.
Oh, okay. It has to do with Oprah, y'all. It's insane.
Okay, Oprah.
So, 2 weeks ago, I was in an afternoon siesta, and I was backstage, and me and my friend, a guy friend, were there, and I was like, "Man, you got to meet O." Like as if me and Oprah as homies. Like I was calling her O. And so she comes, and I introduce her to him, and then she gives me a big hug, and then she gives him a big hug, and then she's like, "Man, you sturdy." Then she proceeds to jump on his back, and then I told you it was wild. She proceeds to jump on his back, and then we all walk to the entrance of the stage, and then I wake up. But I don't know if I really woke up, because when I woke up in the dream, I was like, "Man, I need to call O to like tell her I had a dream about her." And then I realized that I don't know Oprah. And then I called my homie, and I was like, "Yeah, this is what happened." So that was the dream. Some of the dreams I usually can interpret, but this one was, as you can tell, it was wild as fuck, and I have no idea what it was about. I haven't watched Oprah. I haven't seen a soul show. I haven't seen Oprah in any type of show in a long time, so I don't know how Lady O got in my dreams. But, you know, if you can interpret it and it means some money, that would be great.
So when you were talking, because I write, I'm a writer as well, so I listen and I write, because sometimes that's how messages come through. I picked up, I don't know how it correlates, but I picked up the words that I heard were detachment, security, and peace. You felt safe with them, but it's like you were detached from reality. I guess that came from the, where she jumped on his back and stuff like that.
It's like
but
Oprah.
It was just carefree. They said it was just you, your freedom and security. Whoever this person is that was in your dream, they said he represents the, security and peace for you. You feel safe. Y'all can do anything together, and you feel safe. No matter what happens, you know that business will be taken care of. That's what I picked up.
Okay. I'll take that. I was hoping that it's like Oprah's gonna call you soon, but
He said detached from reality. That's exactly right.
Oprah's gonna call you like, "Yo, TK, like I had a dream about you. I had a dream about you too."
Like detached from reality.
Hey, it's possible. Like, don't it's possible. Oprah's still alive. I'm still alive. Things can happen. It was just hella wild though.
I was gonna ask, Jakayla, do you believe that like spirits can come to people in dreams? And the reason I ask that is because I've been told that like I'm spiritual, and if I tap into it, I can like do something with it. But my great grandmother passed away, and she like, raised me, and we were really close. And I noticed like if I have a bad day, or if I'm grieving or missing her, and a lot of my family members passed away, but I was really close to her, she'll pop up in my dream. So yesterday I had a really bad day. I thought about her, my aunt, my uncle, people who died, and she popped up in my dream. And when she popped up last night, she had this like fabulous fur coat on. And recently I took the train from New York to California. So the dream was we took the train together. And she was like, "Hey girl, relax." Like, cause I was freaking out yesterday because I was grieving. But in the dream, she just was like, "We're not doing none of that. Like, let's go get your bags and let's go." And I woke up and I was like, "Oh, hey grandma." So I feel like a lot of times when I'm missing them, a lot of my families will pop up in my dreams. So do you believe that that's a real thing? Or do you think that's like a subconscious of people just being like, "Oh, I miss them and I'm dreaming about them"?
No, because some people don't believe in their ancestors coming back. Like it goes against their morals or their religious code. So when a relative does come back, that is a message for you. And like in my practice, I try to be as neutral as I can. Like I'm saying, you don't have to be a Christian to come to me. You don't have to be anything but yourself. And you come to me, you get your answers or whatever. But most relatives will come to you in your dreams because they don't want to scare you and make you fearful. So they'll come to your dreams in a familiar way, in a setting that's safe. And when you're asleep, that's the safest way possible.
Right.
Yeah.
I
have a question. I do have a question. Okay, I want to know if there is a message coming through for me. I know that there is. I don't know exactly what it may be because I continue to see, and this has been for like the last, I want to say 4 months. I continue to see 111 or 1111 every day, like every day.
Are you trying to do like a new business venture? Because when you were talking, or as you said, I have a question, I heard hold out, then I heard hold on. Stop rushing. You don't have to rush yourself because everything is unfolding as it should, not as you want it.
Okay. Wow.
Is your grandpa alive?
No. Mm-mm.
Is he dark skin? Kind of, I don't know what to call it. It's like a short afro, like a TWA.
I don't know if he has an afro, but he's definitely dark skinned.
Okay, I just seen like gray. I didn't know if it was an afro, but it was like gray little curls. He has moles on his cheeks, but he doesn't have moles.
I don't know that part. I've only met him like twice.
Okay, it was a dark skinned man. His eyes are like really, really brown, and he has like moles on his cheeks, and he has like little fat cheeks. And he's smiling. I don't know who he's for, but he's just smiling.
Wow.
He's not saying anything. He just smiled. And like I felt him, and that's why I looked over because I was like, who's that? But I felt him and he left. He just smiled. And he had like on a plaid shirt with overalls.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to ask my mom because he was dark skinned and he was a big man. But I've only met him twice. Yeah.
He had like a big belly and he was like his overalls. And his shoes were they were like boots. They were kind of muddy. And he had on a little tan hat, like a little farmer. But he had on a tan hat, and he just smiled. And I noticed his eyes because they were really, really brown. And he just looked like he was at peace.
Yeah, that could be my grandpa because he was a big man. He had a big belly. I know that. He had a big belly, and he was very dark-skinned. He wore glasses, so I do believe that if I look at a picture, I think that his eyes are they're dark brown. I do know that. And he did, I think the last time I did see him that he did have on like jeans overalls or something because he was he was living in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So I could see that maybe being him.
But I about to say, I peeped like Jakayla look over. That's why I was like, like I see you, like you were thinking and you like looked over. I'm like, yo, that has to be wild for you to just see random folks or people talking to you and you're just like.
I work at a daycare, so it's also a church. So I have spirits walking down the halls every day, but at work, because it's a church, I don't engage at all because my coworkers already think I'm so goofy. So I don't say anything, but one man I've seen is this white man. I'm guessing he was an old pastor. He just patrols around the daycare, making sure everybody's okay. And I was just like, okay, you do you, sir. Don't ask me no questions.
Right.
But like when they do come, they don't show themselves. Because like when I was younger, it's scary. So now I'll just get a flash and I'll be like, oh, okay, I got it. Like a quick snapshot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Got it. So are there any messages that have been, like, while you've been sitting there or whatever, have come through to anybody on the panel?
For TK, I seen a lady standing behind you. She's light skinned, about your color. She had long hair, but it's like in braids, and she's skinny. And she didn't say anything. She was just standing there. I seen a flash of her because I seen like behind you, like a big thing of white. And I was like, what is that? But she was just standing there and she just left. But she comes and goes. But that's all I felt.
That's like, I mean, I've always, that's why I'm saying, like I said, when I said at the top of the show, my mom said I was always like very spiritual. Like people have always kind of come to me. And when you made mention of like people crossing over, I saw my ex for like years and then I stopped seeing him. So I mean, when I want to say it could be anybody, I don't want to say it could be anybody, but I've had so many different, like, I've had people come to me before. I'm hoping that was the younger version of my grandmother, because she hasn't. That's the one person that I've really been hoping to like have dreams of or visions of, and I haven't seen her. There are people who have passed away that I see all the time. But my grandmother I haven't seen. So, but she was 98.
So it's kind of weird. I say it's weird with the spiritual realm, because if you hope for something to happen, the opposite happens. So if you just forget it, it happens. Like I teach that with manifestation. You want it so bad that you kind of just disrupt the flow of it. But once you leave it alone, it comes. And that worked for me. My grandpa died in 2015 by himself. He had a heart attack in his sleep, and nobody found him for like a couple of hours. And it broke my heart because I never got to spend time with him. He comes to me ever so often now because he knows I get too excited. And it's just like a comfort thing. Now he comes in my dreams because I know my kids are spiritual. My son, I don't know who he plays with, but it makes me nervous because he wakes up laughing and then goes back to sleep. And I'm just like, whoever you're messing with, just let them be. But yeah, once you kind of just like ease back or you write her a letter, she'll come.
Yeah, because when my grandma passed away, there was one time I had a dream, and I still think, like you said, I feel like she sends messages through butterflies, specifically the monarch butterfly, because that was like her thing. But anytime I'm about to do something big, a butterfly always either comes and lands on me or like it's around. But she came to me in my dream, and that was like the only time she came, and she said, "I'm okay." And that's what she said. And that was it. And so I was like, oh, okay. I felt comfortable. I was like, okay, she's telling me that she's okay.
Well, they also come in red cardinals, robins, and sometimes if you see, I can't even think of the flower, a lily or a white flower, that's your ancestor connecting with you. If you see multiple cardinals, those are multiple ancestors connecting with you. Butterflies are also a way they connect, because if it's like a color that's specific to them, that's a sign.
Oh, that's good to know. I feel like somebody asked me this before. Do you, and I was like, well, I want to know too. Like famous people, when they cross over, do they come to certain people, like fans? If they were fans, would they come to them?
I don't do that. I've only had, I cannot think of who it is, but I don't, because it's like so many people do famous people just for views and all of that and follows. And I don't, because I feel like that's rude and disrespectful to them, because sometimes they do have messages that they need to get out. I cannot think of who. Pop Smoke, he came to me, but at the time I wasn't familiar with who he was, and I just thought it was a dude with some braids, and I was like, ain't got time to go on. But it was like, and then a lady did a YouTube video on it, and she said basically what he had told me. So if they can't get their message for somebody else, they'll find another person to get their message out. But some people do take advantage of it and try to, and that creates a harmful energy around them.
It creates a harmful energy around the person or around the soul?
The person. Because that's going to create bad karma for them, because you're using their soul's, I guess, problems for your gain. You're not helping them. You're just exploiting them.
Oh, damn. That is kind of like the spirit realm is like the earthly realm.
Yeah. There's a little bit of something in there.
Right. Kiki, was you about to ask something? Because I felt like you was,
I'm just taking it all in. I was gonna ask if Jakayla's seen anything, but I'm just taking it all in.
So what do you do with people who don't believe? Do you just like say whatever, I don't care? Or are there some people you're like, yo, I really have to get this message to you, and I know you don't believe, but
So like I said, I'm very goofy, and I tell people before they book with me, I'm brutally honest, so be prepared because I don't hold back. And one lady, she was a pastor's wife, and she wanted to do a reading with me, and I said, I'm a reader. That's before I had called myself a spiritual therapist. And I was like, I'm a reader. And she was like, yeah, I know. You read the tarot cards and all that. And I was like, okay. And the message that came through her, it was not what she wanted to hear. And she was like, God will get you. I said, no, God got me, you know.
damn.
Okay. And I still told her the message because it's a waste of my energy and time to sit here and channel this message for you, give it to you, and you don't want it. And plus, I don't give refunds. So you're going to get this message either way.
So that's right.
I know that's right. Listen.
And now, do you do it in person or do you do it on like virtual too?
Well, I live in Arkansas, so most of my clients have been from like the West Coast or California, and I plan on staying in Arkansas, so most of my readings are through like messenger voice notes or email or Zoom. I can't really do Zoom because I work and my schedule is so hectic, so I try to do messenger because I can do like 10 voice notes easy and just sitting down while I'm doing something else.
Yeah. Do you go through, this is one of my last questions. You live in Arkansas, so you live in the South. So do you go through certain cities or towns and get more, like you see more than if you were to go to like New York or up Midwest or something? Do you see more spirits because our ancestors were down there? And does that make sense? I don't know.
Yes. I want to go to Laurel Valley simply because I haven't seen like any spirits floating around here because I moved from like a country town to the capital of Arkansas, and I still haven't really seen anything. But like I said, I wanted to try because my maiden name is Towns, and I really don't have a connection to that name because I don't know. My grandpa was the only child. My dad was the only child, and I don't talk to my dad, so it's a real disconnect. So when I do go outside, I ask spirits to come through that need help or are lost. And one time it was a lady. I have no idea what time period she was from, but she was black. She was light skinned. She had really pretty hair. And she looked like she had just been through the ringer. Like she was so distraught, and I helped her. But it's like I don't see like Confederate soldiers and stuff like that. They don't come through as easy. They really take some, because I feel like they feel like I've done what I've done. I don't want to be bothered.
Wow, that's interesting. I guess they didn't want to be bothered here either. It's such a mirror. It's weird because it seems like it's a mirror to where we live now to when you're, when it's the next.
Yeah.
Set.
And it is because like everything, I really don't go there because like I said, when I first went, it was by accident and it made me scared because like it's like the peace we try to get over here is the peace that's there, like that true just I don't have to worry about this, I don't have to worry about that. It's just peaceful, and you can get caught up in that very easy. So but yeah, most of our ancestors, I know for sure they're at peace because there was nothing but suffering on this side, and it wasn't their fault. It was set up that way. So now when they passed on, they feel the peace. And sometimes they connect with other ancestors or other family members that they've lost, and it's peace.
Oh, that's dope. That's good to know that they're at least getting peace on the other side because it was hell for them here.
Yeah.
And then I guess I have, this is what our producer put in, are like Ouija boards and stuff. Are they real? Like, you know how they show on movies and stuff, how spirits move, the Ouija boards and stuff. Are those real?
Yes. Like in movies, they overhype it. Like you can use an Ouija board yourself but you have to have like the proper things going with it. Like you can't just go in and ask questions. You have to say, is there anybody with a benevolent spirit here? You can't just start saying, is anybody here with us? Because that means anybody can come through. So you just have to set yourself up. But I don't do Ouija boards. I've watched too many scary movies for that. And I'm just like, no, I can't do that.
Same.
Something could go wrong. Even though I know my mentor uses one, I'm still like, no, I can't. I refuse.
Oh, wow.
That's scary movie because I'm like, I don't want bad spirits.
That's,
going in. Mm-mm.
That's me too, because I'm like, oh no, I watch too many scary movies to have somebody come through the portal and be attached to me. That's dark. I just can't do it. I ain't got time. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's great. Y'all got any more questions?
I just want to know, Jakayla, like, I guess this, because I know we're wrapping up, so I was going to ask like how people can get in contact with you if they want to do, because I feel like for me personally, I'm definitely going to reach out to you. Sorry, guys. Reach out to you to get a reading. So how can people, get in contact with you and find you if they want to get a reading?
My name is the Nappy Oracle on Instagram, and that's where I do most of my booking and stuff. I am opening a wellness shop in North Little Rock. So I currently don't have a website, but I'm going to set it up so I can be more professional. But just message me on Instagram or Facebook. My business name is Kaifi Soul Wellness.
Okay, so you're the Nappy Oracle on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have you on Facebook. What's your other one on Facebook? Because I have you on Facebook under your name.
Kaifi, so Kefi Soul Wellness.
Okay. So I guess she just told us where we can find her. And thank you for coming on. We truly appreciate this. I think it was great. Yeah, I think it was great to have something different, to kind of see that into something different during Halloween as well. And having a Black, spirit therapist come on is super dope. Like that's what we're here to do, is to create a non-monolithic, platform to show that Black women across the globe are different, that we all come in different shapes, forms, sizes, careers. Don't count us out because we come differently, okay? Period. So we thank you so much for coming on, Jakayla. We are really excited that you were able to make it on. I know it, you had some little things in between, but thank you for still coming on with us.
Yeah.
And rescheduling and doing all that stuff. So that was great. Queens,
yes, thank you.
Yes, Queens, let them know where they can find you.
Yes, you guys can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom, and let me know what your Halloween costumes are going to be. And I'm excited to share those photos with everybody.
And you can follow, first out, shout out to Oprah, my friend, for coming to my dreams. Feel free to come more, some money. Also, if you want to rent out some carnival costumes, I have plenty of them. So you can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad.
And you can follow me on IG or now all platforms at Hey Mo Love. And also make sure you follow us Queens on all platforms at Queens Uncut. Visit our YouTube channel so you can see this at Black Queens Uncut. And go to our website as well. You get to see everything across the board, what we're about to do. This is our last episode, our finale for season 3. We will be back in January with all new guests, experts, and new topics to talk about sex, dating, and relationships. Yes, we're going to be getting into it. And make sure you catch up with all the rest of the other episodes that we have thus far. Season 1, season 2, and now season 3. You can listen to all of them. They're on all platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you want to see it. We are, because we are in 49 different countries. So that's super dope. Check our website, blackqueensuncut.com. And we love you, Queen and family. We'll see you in January. Bye.
Hey folks, Tracy Felder, your product education director here from LaWand and a proud sponsor of Black Queens Uncut. We want to thank y'all for joining in on all the amazing series that Black Queens are just pumping out. Y'all just honestly don't want to miss what's also coming up for them in the future. So be sure to like, follow, continue listening to the Black Queens, and also follow LaWandMassager.com. Definitely check out our new Black Cherry Double Vibe and all the other beautiful chrome pieces that also come with the double vibe. And hey, if you buy a chrome cherry and dark black cherry in any color, you will also get a really nice bottle of black cherry lube. So be sure to follow us at LaWand Massager, check out our website, and thank you again for watching Black Queens Uncut. I had an amazing time always, and I hope y'all do too. Take care. Peace.